What time is it? What time is it?
Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. If you want to call in, you can't. You can't. Blog Talk is down. So, Habib, let me tell you something. You know how I feel about Blog Talk, right?
Yeah.
I hate Blog Talk. It is the worst platform on the face of the planet. I don't know who programmed this piece of trash that you call a program. And the fact, let me tell you this, the fact that you idiots charge money for this program is beyond me. The fact that it's charging what you charge, not that just that you charge money for this. The fact that you charge what you charge, $40 a month, $50 a month, whatever it is criminal. Because you put out a substandard product, you put out a product that doesn't work, and people rely on this to work. It's am I wrong here? Am I out of pocket here?
I mean,
talking about how
wrong.
sorry this company is, talking about how they're going to give me a refund now. Now I get this month for free. Yay. But I'd rather have the product. You know what I mean?
$40 is a good chunk of change. I mean, it's
absolutely.
The cost of one of the Swedish massages that I get every once in a while. I mean,
that's still a pretty good price. I got to be honest with you.
It's a good price, man.
For a massage, not for Blog Talk. I'm talking about for the Swedish massage.
That's right.
Notorious says Robbie's call streak is broken. Maestro said he's been looking into AMP, which is better than Blog. You know what? I'm going to look into AMP as soon as we hang up here. As soon as we get done with this show, I'm going to see AMP, and we're going to find out, because it would give me like great pleasure to cut Blog Talk loose. It would just give me great pleasure to get rid of this spec.
It's the same type of growing pain we had with Skype when we had to transition into StreamYard, and we never looked back.
Right.
We never had a problem with StreamYard at all.
StreamYard has been great. StreamYard has been great, right?
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, the quality in StreamYard, everything the audio, the video. But let me tell you what, like Blog Talk has just been a consistent pain in my side for years. And to think that we could possibly get rid of it, I'm all in, because that platform completely sucks. And I hope that you morons at Blog Talk, I hope one of you guys hears this. I really do, because I'm planning on telling you this Tuesday when I call you, because I know you're not open on a holiday. You're not open on, their premium help desk is 24 hours. Tell me another company that gets away with that. A 24-hour premium. That's your premium support is 24 hours. Later, they have to give you a response within 24 hours.
That's ridiculous.
Where's that premium at? That's your premium? That's what you guys, this is what you guys do? Really?
I mean, you call the Beeb hotline, you got to call back in 3 minutes.
At the very least.
Sure.
I mean, that 3 minutes might be a long time to wait.
That's right.
So, yeah, Blog Talk completely sucks. I am so done with it. I swear, if I can find, again, all I have to do is find another platform, and I am gone. I am gone from this ridiculous marketing tool that you guys use. Oh, yeah, use this. How many, I mean, really, like, my God. Get a grip, guys. Learn how to run a business. Maybe I'm going to be trashing you every other week on this platform because you guys suck.
There's one good thing about it. I don't have to listen to Big Texas calling this week.
That's right. You don't have to listen to your friend Big Texas. But
I wish Robbie could call in so I can bust his balls like I do every week. That's the one bad part about not having something.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe I'll have him call my cell phone. I'll put him on speaker and just ream him.
Tony Yayo says, so no Ringside Rob and that pseudo gay guy that sings to the Beeb. I'm cool with that. It seems like the chat is really split on that dude. Like either they love him or they hate him. There is no middle ground. There is no I think he's okay. Yeah, I either love him or hate him. Yeah. Yeah, Notorious says he's going to call into Beeb's Beeb Industries private line now. There you go.
He'll never get that. Never get that.
Yeah, and we will thank you very much. But he says, I hope we find a good podcasting platform. We've got one. And StreamYard is really good, but in order to take calls, you have to take calls fluidly, and there's a couple of them out there. Some you have to pay like up front for. Like in there, it's like 10 cents per minute or something like that. They still charge on like the minute basis. And I'm not with that. I just rather pay a flat fee and get the nodes and get the calls in. And there's got to be something out there. Trust me. You know what? And now I will find it. I will find it. Trust me.
All right.
My God. Maestro says the Big Texas segment is the worst part of the show by far. How dare you?
I agree with him.
Dare you crush the love of Big Texas,
I agree with him.
It's terrible. You agree with it? That's the worst part of the show.
Worst part of the show. Man.
I love how uncomfortable it makes you. I got to be honest. It does tickle me to see how like uncomfortable you get where you got to hide your face and you can't say anything and you just got to wait till it's over.
It's emasculating.
It's emasculating.
I'd rather get waterboarded.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get started here. And speaking of emasculating, Chris Eubank emasculated Liam Smith this weekend. I'll tell you that. Eubank gets revenge on ESPN Plus and wins by TKO over Liam Smith in the 10th round. Chris Eubank looked very sharp early. Liam Smith said he was flat before the fight. But, honestly, I don't think he was flat. I'll be honest. I don't think he was flat. I just think that Liam, Eubank was able to nullify whatever Liam Smith tried to do. And Liam Smith, I don't know what he was trying to do, to be honest with you. He had no plan B in this fight. You think after the first 4 rounds when he lost him, there's got to be some kind of plan B? No. This was a completely one-sided affair, man. The big difference here was that Eubank was using Bomac, which is Terrence Crawford's trainer. Eubank looked good. He looked patient, and I noticed he was definitely more cautious than he has been in previous fights. Not a whole lot of wild, crazy, lunging shots, that kind of thing. One of the big things I did notice with Eubank, less headhunting, more body shots. And to me, that's ultimately what did him in. What ultimately did Liam Smith in. He looked good. He looked more technical than I've seen him look. Liam Smith, I actually picked Liam Smith to win this fight, but he was just dominated in this fight. And it, like I said, I mean, he can blame, whatever he wants. Clearly, Eubank was the better fighter. Eubank was definitely the better fighter. And I think these guys can fight 9 more times, and I think Eubank will be the better fighter in the other 9 too. It's just, to me, I don't know.
This was how I expected the first fight to go. I don't like to make excuses for fighters either, because I don't want to take away from fighters' victories by bringing up excuses for the loser. But in this case here, if you're a 160-pound fighter and you're losing 42 pounds and you're walking around at 202 pounds at 160, that's probably something I wouldn't want to admit. I mean, that shows, with all due respect to Liam Smith, I mean, he comes from a great boxing family. He's a solid pro himself, done a lot of things in the sport. But to balloon up like that shows kind of like a lack of dedication to the sport. You have to question, does he have 1 foot out the door already, being 35 years old?
Yeah.
Former world champion. I thought that Eubank would win this fight. I always thought he was the better fighter. I thought he was the quicker. I thought he was the more explosive, the more athletic, the sharper puncher of the two. I thought that he could do more things. I know a lot of people were saying that Liam Smith was the better boxer. I maybe you could argue he's shown more discipline. He's followed game plans. He's been more cerebral and methodical throughout his career and didn't wing it as much as Chris Eubank, because there's times when Chris Eubank just kind of relied on his athletic ability. But Chris Eubank is very talented. He can fight on the outside. Really good mid-range fighter, especially with those uppercuts and those those short hooks on the inside. Really good mid-range fighter. I think the advantage here that Liam Smith had was his inside fighting. He's always been good at throwing feints, good at working his way on the inside, good jab. decent foot speed, but this time Chris Eubank Jr. had his jab working overtime. He looked fit. This was the best he's looked physically. He looked like night and day compared to the last weigh-in, as opposed to how he looked at this weigh-in. He looked like he made the weight with ease. He was smiling at the weigh-in, happy, looked really cut. Look, his muscles looked full. Didn't look emaciated at all. Whereas you could see that Liam Smith had that smooth look to him, where he lost a lot of muscle and had that's that smooth, pasty type, like putty type look to you when you lose a lot of muscle trying to make weight. And when you do it too quickly, you end up just straight losing water, and you look just right. You just look flat. And he had that flat, soft look to him, even though on the scales he made the weight, the number was there, but the aesthetics were not. He just did not look good. I think the big difference in this fight was obviously Eubank was using the jab more. He was keeping his hands up, staying off the ropes. And when Liam Smith did get close, Smith would grab him. And we talk about clinches. There's that Amir Khan clinch where it's a desperation clinch and you're like looking over the referee, break me. And you have that Kell Brook clinch and that Shane Mosley clinch where they're grabbing you, controlling you, grappling with you, tying your hands up tight so you can't move them. And I've talked about this a lot, where when you grab the guy, you want to kind of have your hands on top and push down on his hands so he can't pull out. Because if you just grab like this up and underneath and just grab him like this, you just freeze the action, just pull his hands out. But you could see what Eubank did. He made sure that he wasn't going to get hit with an elbow this time, because he was pushing down on those hands. And, he was hitting them with the free hand. He was throwing short shots himself. He was very gritty on the inside. I know, like the announcers were saying, I know Kyle Froch and George Groves were talking about this fight, saying in the beginning there was a tad bit too much holding. But Eubank was punching with the free hand in those clinches, and he was walking him back and releasing the clinch, and he was firing. So this was a masterful performance from Eubank, because he covered all his bases. He did it all. He was beating him on the outside, he's beating him in the mid-range, and he was able to thwart him off on the inside, and he was landing some hellacious body shots on the inside too. So this is not his fault. I mean, if you're fighting at 160, you're not supposed to walk around at 202 pounds. You're not supposed to have to lose 42 pounds. You were the guy coming from 154 to 160. You had the back injury, but in 1 or 2 months, you're ballooning up to 42 pounds when the fight gets rescheduled. That's unacceptable as a professional.
No way.
I'm not trying to dump on the guy, but again,
it's too much.
That's unacceptable. That's not something that you bring to the table and use it as a reason why you lost, because that, again, I'm going to repeat,
your fault.
That shows a lack of discipline. And you have to say to yourself, was he living off the high of the first fight? Because again, I had Eubank winning the first 3 rounds of that fight. I do think he got hit with a temple shot. That was kind of one of those shots where you just hit someone in the perfect spot, and it's hard for their legs to recover. Then the elbow was in there as well. So there was a lot of things working against Eubank, having to train for that Conor Benn fight. Like I said, going down to having to come down like the 156. And then when that fight falls out at the last minute, then you got to do a whole new training camp. That's a lot of things going on. And then his brother passed away. He is going through things with his dad. A lot of things going on. But this time, everything was taken care of, and his head was on straight. He was focused on this. And he was, I hate putting too much emphasis on a trainer, because when the fighter wins, I know Steve Kim said this before, when the fighter wins, too much credit goes to the trainer. When the fighter loses, too much blame goes to the trainer. So he did listen to Bomac here, but once again, this came down to him getting in shape, getting ready, and being mentally focused to take on this task and handle business.
I thought he did a great job. You were talking about the way he controlled the clinches, and I thought he did a really good. That was where I think the fight really, that was where he really controlled. When they were, like I said, he would control the head, he would control every movement, so he didn't get hit. So he had the advantages, not Smith, and that because he knows what Smith does on the inside, and I just thought he did a really great job. Massive. He was patient. By far, the best I've ever seen Chris Eubank Jr. look. By far.
Yeah.
D-Style, thank you so much, my friend. He said the roundtable returns to Ringside Reporter live this Thursday, going back-to-back weeks. Beeb, tell us about it real quick.
Roundtable is a great show that we do every week. We have a different list of panelists. We rotate the panelists every week. So usually 5 or 6 of us. We have 6 topics, cover the news, the rumors, the upcoming fights, do the breakdowns. And the great thing is every week we have a different panel. So it never gets old, never gets stale. And hopefully, if any other YouTube channels are out there and they would like to, jump on every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We alternate weeks, but D-Style has something to do this week, so I'm doing back-to-back. But any YouTube channels out there that would love to, jump on the panel, anyone that has a channel out there, just contact me.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on the channel, leave a comment in the chat, say you want to come on, and we'll put you on. Contact me, Twitter, whatever, YouTube, comment section,
Let's see.
Instagram, reach out.
Yeah, you guys do a great job with that show, man. You guys do a really good job with that. Let's talk about. I want to talk about Liam Smith before we talk about Chris Eubank here. He was knocked out. It was a completely one-sided fight. My guess, if I have to guess, my guess is that Liam Smith is gonna. I think he actually may move up in weight to 168. I don't think that's a good idea. But I think that you can't continue to cut 40 pounds in between fights. You just can't,
Why would you get up to – he's 5'9", not the biggest – like, you're a stocky guy, but you got a frame to you.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have a frame.
He's got the frame of a 160.
Like, you're a fire plug, man. Like, people don't realize how you can roll and grapple and do your jiu-jitsu. This guy, Liam Smith, is not a big boned guy. Like Chris Eubank is a close to a 6-footer. So I don't know. Maybe Liam, again, if you're walking around at 202, to me, that's telling me, like, I don't know, like, do I still want to live that life? It's one thing. It's one thing getting up to 180, maybe 185, but maybe 190. We'll even go there.
I don't know. That's still pretty heavy for coming back down.
I don't like that either. But let's at the most 180, right? Yeah. That's 20 pounds over your fighting weight. Back in the day, Mills Lane used to say you shouldn't be more than 8 to 10 pounds over your fighting weight. And that's how, and when they had those same day weigh-ins, that's generally what fighters would do. They would lose 8 to 10 pounds. Tops 12, maybe.
Always.
This day right now of having to lose 20, 25 pounds, every camp, I'm not feeling that, bro. That's why I hate these day before weigh-ins, because I want to go back to the same day weigh-ins and let these guys fight at the right weight classes that they really should be in my opinion.
But I tell you what, though, like, again, Maestro said apparently he had a really bad back injury, right? But you could still watch your diet. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like, you can still watch your diet as you do that. If you know that you're not going to be able to work out and you know that you're going to have, a layoff here, then get your diet in check. You got nutritionists that work with you. Get a nutritionist in there. Hey, I'm going to gain weight. I'm probably, but let me keep it within this range. The other thing, he gains 40. Let's just take it from this standpoint, right? What a disservice he's doing to himself, because he gains 40 pounds. He's at 200 pounds between fights. And say if he's at 200, then say what? He's at 190, 190-ish, somewhere around there, 185-ish.
Let's do
a regular,
Let's do a BMI right now. We're going to type in 5'9", right? And then we're going to put 202 pounds. Now, it's one thing being in the overweight category, but because I'm in the overweight category, because I'm like 6'1",
which blows my mind. So you're not really, it's not even really like a average, like a,
yeah, but here's the thing.
29. His BMI is 29. He would be considered overweight. A BMI of 30 or greater is considered obese. So he's like right on that edge. But even then again, I guarantee, if you saw him he's not, you know what I mean? Anything crazy.
He's 1 point away, right, of being obese. If he was at 30, he's 29.8, he's close to being obese.
Yeah. So
it's not good.
Yeah. And I mean, but at the same time, look at the opportunities that he may miss, because as a fighter, you always want to stay around your weight, because opportunities come in. Somebody gets injured. Hey, let's call Liam. We know he's in shape. He's probably got 8 pounds to lose or whatever. Yeah, we can bring him right in. You can drop 8 pounds in in an overnight. So, they do that. That's what they do in the UFC. That's why they always stay a lot of fighters will stay around their weight because they'll call you and these guys will do the same thing, but if they know you're going to be at 200 pounds, you ain't getting that call.
Here's the thing, man. He had a back injury, right? He could have probably went swimming still. He could have went walking. He didn't, if you have a back injury, you could still walk. I got bone on bone arthritis in my knee. I can still walk. I can still walk 6 miles a day. You know what I mean? There's always something you can do, but that's still not, gives you a green light to put on 40. It's one thing putting on 20 pounds, 25 pounds. But again, in a month's time or month and a half's time, putting on 42 pounds in that short period of time, that is not a good look, bro.
Look,
not a good look.
And I'm going to address Notorious VC. It is about diet, and it's all it's about. If you're going to be laid up with an injury, and this because apparently he had a back injury, whatever. And Maestro says, I agree. You put on weight when you can't move. What about the people that are on diets though, and never do a thing of exercise, but they lose weight? It's real simple. Your body is going to burn so many calories, and you're going to eat so many calories. If you eat less than you burn, you're going to lose weight. They're sedentary. Even just sedentary, your body is burning calories. Again,
and when you say back injury, did he have a slip? Did he have? He had
spinal.
He had a strain. He had a strain in his back. Kurt Angle won a fucking gold medal at the Olympics with a fucking broken fucking neck, bro.
Right.
Broken neck. Broken fucking neck. I just watched that today too. That documentary on WWE Angle.
Oh, really?
It's on Peacock. I don't know if you have Peacock.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. What a fucking story that is.
That guy
had a broken neck, and he won the Olympics.
Yeah,
did the whole Olympics with a broken neck.
You know how difficult it is. Amateur wrestling is. Period. Okay, just amateur wrestling. How difficult and how when you get to the college level, high school level too, but when you get to the college level, how much you have to train, sacrifice, and that training room is insane. The amount that you have to know, and then to get to the Olympics.
But here's another thing. Going back to the whole diet thing. I know when you're lying around, you get bored, you want to eat, whatever. But again, I've been lied up with injuries before. Mm-hmm. You don't eat as much, unless you're really depressed and you're down in the dumps. Then you can put on weight. But putting on 42 pounds, 42 pounds.
Do you know how much you have to eat to gain 42 pounds?
You would have to gorge yourself to put on 40. Who puts on 42 pounds in like a month and a half? Who the fuck does that?
Was it over a month and a half?
Well, he was training and then he got injured and then the fight got postponed. So
I would say he was probably 20 pounds up, 20 pounds up when he was in training. And then once his injury got in, then he got 40 pounds up, and then to lose all that weight in a matter of what?
But again,
8 weeks, 6 weeks?
You should not, if you're a professional fighter, you walk around and you're fighting at 160. There's no reason why you should be walking around at 202 pounds.
Yeah.
Maestro is disappointing me. He's a phys ed teacher.
I know, you're a gym teacher, bro.
He's a phys ed teacher.
Come on.
He's advocating for obesity here. What is wrong with this guy? You're advocating. You're giving these people this generation a pass for not taking care of themselves.
He said, "Get off Liam's back. It was broken." Spinal. Remember Mike Tyson with that interview with Jim Gray? He's like, "I broke my back." Spinal.
Spinal.
That's how we sound calling into work, Notorious poor Maestro catching strays.
Now I wish the phone lines were open so I could cuss him out if he was to call in.
It's always times like this where those idiots decide to go down, where those idiots decide, well, we're not going to work today.
And this is
blog talk.
And this
I cannot
is a
say
slow
this
week.
loud enough.
This is a slow week.
Right.
We need the calls right now.
Right. So thank you, Blog Talk.
Fucking Blog Talk.
Hate him. I hate him, Beeb. I hate him. I'll probably say it about 5 or 6 times more before the show ends also. All right. So back to Liam Smith. Again, man, I think he may even think about scooching up and weight to 168 if he fights again. I don't think he retires. I really don't. He's not going to retire off of that because he said he was flat. He said he was flat, this and that. I think if he's honest with himself, like you said, I mean, to blow up 40-some pounds in between the fight, that's not good. And you can blame it on the injury all you want. But the fact is, you signed the contract. You said you was going to honor it. You went in there and fought. Now, there can't be any excuses. You can't use that.
I'm not trying to give the guy a hard time, man, but walking around at 202 pounds, you already
at 160. At 160, though, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
And if I'm not mistaken, like that Eubank fight, if I'm not mistaken, was your first fight at 160. You were already moving up in weight from 154 to 160. You were already moving up. So I don't understand. Like again, I'm guessing. I'm really guessing that he's got one foot out the door if he's blowing up that much.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think that's an every time thing for his fights. Again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he just had a bad time and he can make 160 next time.
Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Let's hope that he gets this sorted out. Hope his injury heals up. I wish the best for the guy. I don't want to give the guy a hard time, but I mean, when I heard he had to lose 42 pounds to get down to 160, that means he was at 202 pounds. He's like 3 or 4 pounds lighter than me, and I'm like 6'1", and I'm 54. I'm 54, right. And I got arthritis in every joint in my body, but I don't let myself try not to go above like 208 at the highest.
Yeah, I mean,
you just can't carry that weight. You can't carry that weight. Like it's not good. It's not healthy.
And again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, he was injured this time, so I'll give him the extra 20 pounds. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think that his next fight will be like a confidence fight. You know what I mean? I think he'll get a confidence fight next fight. Yeah. As far as him fighting for world titles, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know who he can really beat at the top, at the upper echelon, but we'll see. But what struck me after this fight was Conor Benn. Or not Conor Benn, Chris Eubank. Eubank said he would like to fight Triple G, right? The problem, though, is like Triple G hasn't fought in a year. I mean, September 9th, I think it was his last fight with Canelo last year. He's 41 or 42. I'm not even sure that's a money fight for him at this point, really. He also called out Conor Benn, who is 2 weight classes below him. He also called out Kell Brook, who's retired. Dude, what are you doing? You didn't call out any of the champions. What are you doing here? I mean,
I hate doing this, but he's not even a titleist. He's like Tank. He's the Tank Davis of this division. He's the money man in this division, Chris Eubank, because he's got a big following in the UK.
Yeah, well, you might.
That's
be
what
right.
it's about. And I like what Derek Chisora said. Well, shouldn't he go after a belt? Shouldn't he want to become a champion? He goes, what's a champion? A champion's a guy who could fill up a stadium with 20,000 people. That's what being a champion is. In other words, someone who can make, this sport's about making money and securing your future. I guess. Yeah. If you have a choice to become, let me ask you this, like Tommy Fury, he's in the Misfits right now, making more money than he could ever make fighting non-boxers as opposed to fighting boxers. It's hard to knock somebody when they're doing that. Like again,
it really is. Yeah.
It's not what I want. I don't hate the Conor Benn fight. I don't hate it, but I think a Janibek fight would be better.
I would like to see him fight Janibek, or I know Jaime McGee is a weight class up. I would like to see that fight as well. I think that's a good fight. I think him and Eubank is a really good fight. But again, they're not in the same weight classes. But
I mean, This division.
Tubeless says Derek James and Spence have parted ways. Is that right? I haven't heard that.
I heard a rumor, but I don't know
Uh-huh.
how. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it's official.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything official on that. But what was the
So-
rumor that he just left Derek James?
That he may have gone with Calvin Ford or Roy Jones.
That's
I don't
not
know.
a good look, man. That's bad.
I don't know.
That is bad. If that's the case, man, that's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good for Spence. So
Well,
if Eubank fights next, who do you like to see him fight?
in a perfect world,
Yeah.
I'd like him to fight the winner of that the Janabek and the what's the Italian guy's name? The IBF
Gualtieri.
I'd like to see him
Yeah.
fight the winner of that.
Vince Gualtieri. Yeah.
I mean,
I would too. Janabek can fight, man. Janabek is no joke.
you know,
Janabek can fight.
but I actually like Eubank over Janabek. I think he's got the speed. I've seen Janabek trouble with speed. I think he fought Bentley. Who did he fight? Who was that middleweight guy that he fought? Beasley. I think it was Beasley or something like that. One of the guys from the UK, and I thought it was a tough fight for him. I thought the speed troubled him, and I think Eubank was quicker than Janabek.
Yeah.
And I think if he ties him up close to, I think Janabek's another guy who's more of an inside guy. He could, he's got a good jab himself, but I think his game's more up close. He likes to fight deep in the pocket. He's kind of like one of those grinder types, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see him fight that guy. Bentley, yeah. Was it Denzel Bentley?
Let's see here.
Yeah, I think it was Denzel Bentley. And I think Bentley gave him
Denzel Bentley, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
116, 112 twice, and then 118 to 110 went to a decision.
And I thought it was a 116 and 112, 115 and 113 type fight. And he I thought that Janabek had problems with Bentley.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. So imagine what a guy like Eubank, you bring Janabek over to the UK, and Janabek tweeted after the fight, "Why don't you fight me? I'm the guy who has the belt."
Yeah,
so if let's see how that unification goes, and it'd be nice to kind of finish your career with at least having a title belt or two. We'll see.
How do you think he fares against Mauricio Lara, or not Mauricio, Arislandi Lara? I'm sorry.
Right now, I think he can. Yeah. I think he can beat the way this division is right now. I think it's wide open for him. I think he can beat any of these guys at 160. I even think at this stage, maybe be able to beat. He'd probably be able to beat Golovkin at this stage. I think he's.
I said that, and I thought Murata would beat Golovkin, and that didn't happen. So who knows what he has left? But I think Golovkin's retiring. I really do.
Probably going to retire.
Gave up all his belts. I mean, there's no reason to fight. And the Chris Eubank fight for Golovkin is not a big money fight.
No,
it was a big money for Eubank, but not for Golovkin.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like Eubank made a name for himself. He's a very he's got a great personality, right?
Yeah.
Everyone likes him over there. He's been on the kind of talk show scene over there, the reality show type scene over there. So then in poker tournaments and stuff, people know who he is over there.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a decent draw against against anyone that really comes. Like if Janabek was to go over there, I think they could make that a good fight.
I think they'd make it a big fight. As long as he's fighting in England, they'll show up. The English people love him. They love Conor Benn. They said that, somebody in the chat said that what is it, Adam? Said it was a huge fight over there, Conor Benn. And I look at that fight and say it's a complete mismatch because Conor Benn is
Conor Benn's too small.
He's too small.
He's too small.
I've always thought Conor Benn was too small to fight that dude, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah. I think that, Eubank, again, man, he's got the talent to beat any of those middleweights. Now, whether he does or not, that's another question. But any of those fights could really be a back and forth. I mean, it could be, it could definitely make you think like he's a live dog in any of those fights against the championship guys.
Yeah.
That's just the way I see it.
I think he could beat Janabek right now. I think he's quicker. I think he's a sharper puncher. Yeah, I just think that he can get off first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can outmaneuver and outspeed Janabek. Really do. And if he ties him up on the inside, I think
He's
he can.
got the intangibles. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good way. Yeah.
I think he can frustrate Janabek. I really do.
Yeah. I think he can too. I would favor Janabek in that. But again, I wouldn't bet the house on Janabek.
Yeah, I think I would pick Eubank. I think I would pick Eubank in that. But maybe you could argue Janabek could be the slight favorite. It would be a tough fight. The odds makers would have it tight.
I'll say this: the way he fought yesterday, it would be tough picking against him. I mean, because he looked sharp yesterday. The patience that he used, he was accurate. The patience that he used, and if you notice, man, Liam Smith has got that high guard. His guard is way up there. And for him to go down to the body, catch him with the uppercuts, catch him between the guards and everything like that, he did everything perfect. And when he came in, again, those clinches, just the science behind the clinches, as you explained earlier, it was as perfect as you can possibly get it. I mean, it really is.
And here's the thing. People want to talk about the ankles, the legs. They were like, now they were trying to say that Liam Smith had ankle injuries. He always rolls his ankles. Like that's just something he does in fights. He's double jointed in his ankles. He rolls his ankles back and forth.
Yeah.
He did it with both ankles. He did it in the Canelo fight. One other thing that I forgot to mention that was really a standout trait that happened in this fight is Eubank was landing beautiful body shots. You could hear the smack, like up close. He was like ripping those fucking shots, bro. That was another thing that I thought was something that. Again, that's something I've never really seen him do consistently. I don't want to put too much stock in the trainer here because I don't like to kind of get too over excited about something like this.
Yeah.
Because again, he still has to do this against other top level guys like Liam Smith.
Yeah, he's a top level guy. I mean,
he's a top level guy, but he's not the best Eubanks fought. Like I think George Groves. Billy Joe Saunders, I think they're better fighters than Liam Smith. Now, the Billy Joe Saunders fight I thought was razor close. The George Groves fight, that was a fight that you picked Eubank, and I picked Groves. I just thought that was a comprehensive, systematic, just broke. He just picked them apart, George Groves. Outboxed him just decisively in that fight. And I don't think Eubank took a lot of punishment in that fight, but he was just thoroughly outboxed. He was just beat to the punch. He really had a hard time getting close to George Groves. So I don't think Liam Smith's the best opponent that Chris Eubank fought. But this was the best performance because he showed a little bit of I've never seen him this disciplined, so effective at just setting up the shots and he made like zero mistakes in this fight. Even when he would fight lower level opposition, he would make mistakes. He would do things like that you would say, if he does this against so and so, that's not going to help him. That's a bad thing to do if he's across from so and so. He fought yesterday like he was in there with Mike Tyson. Like he set everything up. He wasn't off balance. As Bomac said, he didn't lunge in, leap in, lean forward. Everything was done in a disciplined, perfect way, professional way, top level, top notch way. So, got to give him credit. Now, if he can build off that with Bomac and even get better, this is the first time he said he's had a team. He had a team. Like the Bomac brought a team of people with him. The trainer, you had the assistant trainer with the pad work, the strength and conditioning coach, nutritionist. Everybody was there. Like this was a whole team there. Now, and he's the first time he said he got up at 8 a.m. and trained and did it the trainer's way, not my way, the trainer's way. Right. And that was 5 weeks of that. Let's see what happens if he can get 8 weeks of that, 10 weeks of that, 12 weeks of that. Who knows what can happen?
Yeah, I think that, again, if you're going to make that transition, over to Bomac and leave your trainer, and he, for a long time, he was just training himself, you know, and this guy is so athletically gifted. If you can just hone this in, he can be something. He can be something. I'm seeing another thing that Spence just left Derek James in the chat. I've just looked. I can't confirm any of this. Yeah, there is no confirmation on any of this. In fact, I can't even find a news story that, relates to this. Yeah, we don't know yet. as far as I know, it's just rumor and innuendo. So yeah, I don't know anything about it. That was the fights this weekend. That was the biggest fight. There were some undercard fights, nothing too major, nothing we're going to speak about here. But yeah, they weren't bad, I guess. Let's talk about the upcoming fights here. And again, a dead week here coming up. September 8th on ESPN Plus, Christian Milbilli versus Demond Nicholson, 10-round super middleweights. Are you serious? This is what we got? That's it? That's the fight? Come on. 6:30 p.m. on it. Get out of here. I'm not watching. Come on. Stop it. Stop. You kidding me? What's coming up next? Okay, so September 15th. September 15th. This is Mexican Independence Day weekend. September 16th, right? Nothing. Wait, when was the last time we didn't have a big fight on COVID? COVID was it, right? That was the last time we didn't have a big
September 15th is a good fight. Joet Gonzalez versus Luis Alberto Lopez, and that's going to be on ESPN. That's on a Friday. That's a decent fight.
Yeah. Xander Zayas is on the undercard. Jermaine Ortiz is on there. Robinson Conceicao is on there. Yeah, I mean, so it's definitely got it's a good card to watch. You know, if you want to be entertained, I would watch it. That's a good card. You know, it's not a super fight or anything like that, but I'm gonna watch it. You know,
that's gonna be like one of those fun fights. Joet Gonzalez is a guy that always brings it. I thought he gave Shakur Stevenson a decent fight. He hung in there.
I thought he gave him everything he could. I thought that, he was clearly outgunned there, but he fought till the final bell. I mean, it was a lopsided win for Shakur, and Shakur clearly was way too fast for him.
He made Stevenson work.
Glove off him. Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, he was pressuring him and everything like that. He never quit. He gave it his all. He's a good fighter, man. September 15th on DAZN from Tijuana, Mexico, Angel Fierro versus Brian Zamaripa, 12 rounds lightweights. And this is what you pay for, by the way. William Zepeda versus Marcito Gesta on September 16th on DAZN. Let's run down the September list here. September 23rd, ESPN Plus, Zhilei Zhang versus Joe Joyce. 12 ranks for Zhang's WBO heavyweight interim title. Anthony Yard on the card against Ricky Summers. Do you like Joe Joyce on that one, Beeb?
I like Joe Joyce, yeah. I think he would have won the first fight if his eye didn't get swollen up. I thought he was coming on.
That fight. I thought he was losing that fight, though.
I thought he was coming on, though, the last couple rounds before they stopped it. Yeah. I thought
that's a good fight. You know what? I don't know who's going to win that. I'll be honest. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I picked Joe Joyce in that first fight. But Zhang just seemed to have his number with that jab. It was almost like Zhang out-jammed him in that fight. You know?
Here's the thing. I've always talked about the exoskeleton of Joe Joyce. Bone density 6 times of the normal man, right?
How is that possible?
But here's the problem.
That's freakish.
That bone density didn't translate into his eye.
It doesn't turn into tissue in his eye.
It doesn't translate into the tissue in your eye. So as long as he doesn't get it in the eyes, you can drop a piano on him. You ain't stopping this guy. You're not stopping
6 times the normal man. That's crazy, right? You
are not stopping this guy. Just letting you know.
Insane. Maestro says value for the money with DAZN, $225, baby. That's it, man. Ugh. Too slow. Say Joy Joyce is too slow. Let's see here. And then, of course, September 30th is the big one. Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Charlo. I can't wait for that fight. That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I like the Joyce fight. I like this Zhang fight.
But, he's moving up 2 weight classes too, no?
Yeah.
Charlo's moving up 2 weight classes. That's a tough ask.
Yeah.
That's a tough ask.
Philly Drew makes a good point, man, because we don't normally what happens is when you do have an eye injury and you get hit in that area again, there's scar tissue there. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going with the bone density. 6 times the normal man. Joe Joyce will win that rematch.
Zhilei Zhang never really impressed me as a fighter.
He gets tired. He's a different fighter the second half of the fight.
I think that I would like to see Joe Joyce win this one. And I think that Joe Joyce, he'll go back, he'll correct the mistakes, and he'll come back stronger. I really think so.
I mean, everyone was saying that Eubank had no chance in this rematch. There were some of us like D-Style, myself, I think Maestro, Ring IQ. There was a few people, Base the Kid, but all those people over in the UK, everyone was like saying, "Oh, Liam Smith, Liam Smith, Liam Smith." I don't know, man. Like I said, he landed that one shot in the temple, and other than that, I thought he lost the first 3 rounds. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joyce. Joyce was coming on. I'm telling you, he started winning rounds before he got stopped. He was coming on.
There it is. MEZ Box says Zhang beats Joyce worse next time.
Never.
Too Blessed says, what's been the biggest fight of 2023? Easy. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, biggest fight by a mile.
No,
by a mile.
monetary wise, it was probably Ryan versus Tank.
Yeah.
But significant wise,
yeah.
For a diehard, I think it has to be that Crawford fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're not even, I don't even think you're coming close to that one, to be honest with you. That's the biggest fight. That's the one we all waited for years, man. We've been waiting for that fight for years, And speaking of that fight, let's go to the news and rumors now. We're going to see it again, babe. The rematch. Spence exercises immediate rematch clause against Crawford. The rematch will likely take place at junior middleweight, marking the debut for both fighters at the 154-pound division. Date and location, other details were not immediately known, but we do know that he activated his rematch clause and he wants to fight at 154. And Crawford will take the fight at 154 as well. I believe he will. I don't see why he wouldn't.
I was talking to D-Style about this. Imagine if Crawford throws a curveball at him because you know how Crawford wants to fight Canelo at 168.
Yeah.
Imagine if he says, you know what? Why don't we just do this at 160? See how I feel at 160. Imagine if he does that.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That would be pretty cool.
But I you know what? I have a feeling. We talked about this afternoon, D-Style, myself. I have a feeling they'll fight at 154, and WBC may strip Charlo, and they may fight for the WBC junior middleweight title.
Can you see? I can see that happening, right?
I have a feeling like someone's going to get stripped. Someone's going to get stripped, and then because Crawford again is like, I don't know, he could be like super champion status or whatever. Yeah. I don't think the WBC has that, but
I think they'll figure it out because right now you can only fight 10 rounds. Yeah, neither one of them have a belt. Somebody will sanction this fight, and it'll be a title fight. ABF or somebody stupid will sanction this.
We've seen guys like move up in weight in the WBC, and they've been ranked number 1 without even having a fight in the division. We've seen that happen before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the movie Great White Hype with Samuel L. Jackson? If that's not, and it's such a satire on boxing, but it's also like very true in so many ways, Yeah. You got this guy, that promoter guy, where he's ranking people that haven't fought in the top 5, it's like, yeah, Damon Wayans was in it too. Yeah, it is. It's like, it's so comical and it's so relatable because it is just like watching regular boxing. Beep, who do you like in the rematch? Do you like Crawford in the rematch? Do you think there's anything Spence can do?
No, I can't see it any. I think it's horrible that he's fighting him again. And if I'm in Errol Spence's corner, I know the urge to make another big pay. I don't even know if you can make another big payday off this, but it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be a decent payday. Who knows? It's not going to be a bad. It's not going to be a bad payday. It's probably going to be a bigger payday than anything else at this particular time.
I would take that payday. Yeah, dude.
But if I'm sitting there advising him, if I'm his brother, if I'm his father, if I'm his mother, if I'm his cousin, if I'm his tramp, if I'm anyone that has any vested interest in this guy, not only financially but emotionally, telling the guy, please don't take this.
Yeah. Please
don't take this right now. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
I think it's a horrible move. Horrible move.
I keep going to back to the fact that they talk about that the injury from the accident and stuff like that. And, listening to his voice was really like it changed. His voice was really changed,
Everything changed, man.
Yeah. And it changed pretty quick. So I wonder if Omar Rodriguez said he tagged us with the on Twitter with the news. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Hold on. Let's see what I got here.
Yeah, but who's Canelo Lesnar, bro? Like, please, like, there's no link here. This is what kill who the fuck is Canelo? Someone DM'd me this clip of Blue Blood. Blue Blood's confirming it again.
Blue Blood.
I like Blue Blood. No disrespect, but please.
You just disrespected him all over the place, Beeb. That's cold-blooded, man.
Well,
hey, Blue Blood, I'm here for you. All right, Beeb, not so much, but me, I'm down.
I saw this too, but I need an official link.
I gotta have somebody. Yeah,
I need quotations. I need ESPN.
We gotta have official before we make it official. We gotta have like ESPN boxing scene.
You can't jump at this, bro. You can't.
Nah.
Don't do this anymore. Please don't do this. I don't want you doing this anymore. If you don't have sources, don't do this anymore.
No, you can do it all you want because I do like rumors. I mean, I do like rumors. So hey, there you go.
Please don't do this anymore.
Let's say it is true, Beeb.
It's not.
Calvin Ford and who was the other guy?
Roy Jones.
Oh God. I don't know that Roy Jones is a great trainer. I just don't. He doesn't strike me as a great. I think he's good for certain people, but I don't think Errol Spence would be one of those people.
Yeah.
Calvin Ford. Do you think him changing trainers makes any difference at all?
No. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I just don't like how dismissive Derek James was of Terrence Crawford.
I think that he got caught up with Bomac, and I don't know why those two hate each other. They seem to like really dislike each other prior to the fight and everything like that. You guys are trainers. You're not fighting. You're not fighting. So why are you getting into it? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm going to say something else too. And this is, I was talking, another thing I talking to D-Style about. When you hear these guys with PEDs, oh, well, these guys, it's important that we test these guys because fighters' lives are on the line. But these are the same people that when they're watching a fight, seeing a guy lose every round, right? See him get the bag beat out of him, right? And then when the fighter decides to stop because he can't really go on anymore, right? They're the first people to say, "Oh, this guy's a quitter." Well, I thought you cared about fighters' well-being, fighters' lives. But you want guys to go out on their shield. So we got to make up your mind. Do you want guys to go out on their shield, or do you want guys to live to fight another day?
Yeah.
Right. That's what you need. That's what you have to kind of make sense of that, right?
Danny says that James and Bomac probably had some kind of beef back in the day. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I didn't like what James did. Started making fun of his weight. Got real personal. And
there's no reason to get personal. You know what I mean? There's not. There's no reason to get personal on something like that.
So if you really care about the safety of the sport, there's no way this guy should be able to go back. There's no way this guy should be able to go right back in there with Terrence Crawford. He should be suspended at least a year right now. He should not be able for that beating he took. He should be out for a year.
I mean, I don't know about. I would like to see him get some legitimate tests. You know what I mean? If I'm his dad, I'm saying I think we may need to get you some tests because again, if you listen to his speech to me is a big red flag. And if you listen to his speech early and you listen to his speech now, there's a big difference between the two.
I sent you the videos, I think, right? About like an interview back when he was fighting Kell Brook and an interview recently for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's that is what would get me more than anything. Why your trainer doesn't step up and say something, why your management doesn't step up and say something, and why your family doesn't step up and say something. And I don't have any proof that they didn't. But I'm just saying that, again, if I'm that kid, if I'm his father, I'm saying, look, man, I don't know how, you made quite a bit of money here. You need to have your health because you got a family and everything like that. Let's just let this go, or at least take him to the doctor. Let's go over my concerns. Let's go over everybody's medical concerns about this. But man, I don't know. So That's it, man. And that's it for this week, man. There's not much going on. We'll have a preview show next week, I'm sure, on something, and we'll figure it out. Notorious says, wow, what are you guys going to talk about this week? I said, look, man, we made it through the COVID months. We'll make it through the September, September is usually our big year, big month too, if you think about it. But we do. We got a big fight in September 30th, and there's a couple fights spattered along there that are pretty good. Philly Drew, thank you so much, my friend. He said Spence is cashing out. Best thing he can do now. 160 is the weakest division in boxing. Somebody from 147 can win a belt. He's got a point. But who will that 147 be? I don't know.
Everyone's mad. Everyone's mad because the blog talk was off.
I'm mad because the blog talk was off.
We probably would have got a good amount of callers this week. I know Drew probably would have called in. Maestro maybe would have called in. D-Style maybe. Who knows?
And it wouldn't be, I tell you what, it wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have to pay for it. If we didn't have to pay monthly for this idiotic program, it would be fine. If Blog Talk's down, Blog Talk's just down. But the fact that you have to shell out $40 or $50 a month for that piece of crap kills me.
The StreamYard is 10 times better when we use it more.
Much cheaper.
We do more videos. We do more videos than we do Blog Talk shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, too, we have so many more features on this thing than we do like the Blog Talk.
What is MixLR?
Oh, Mixler sucks.
Mixler sucks?
That's worse. That's worse.
All right. I'll take your word for
it. No. Ness and I used to be on Mixler. We went back to Blog Talk.
Never went back, huh? Yeah.
That's garbage. It's trash.
I mean, seriously, what a lousy product. Just a complete lousy product that is.
Yeah.
All right, enough about me ranting. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1. Tune into YouTube this week, our YouTube channel, and then you can see the roundtable on Thursday. And you can find that on ringsidereporterlive.com. Takes you right to our YouTube channel. And you can find me on X at Ringside73. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.